I am sitting in a very comfortable position today, and I can't really be more than happy to find me a corner to film. So, hi, my name is Akanksha. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Ignore. So, today I created this beautiful green gray glitters smoky eye with my favorite nude glossy lip and a very clean skin. So I got this idea when I saw this outfit um, a few days ago on Instagram, and I was like, this color is stunning, and I had to create a look. So I came up with this. Also, if you enjoyed and like this look, please don't forget to share and like, and also subscribe if you haven't. And I always stumble when I say this. I don't know why. Please ignore how I talk, ignore all the messiness that you might see. Great. एक तो वैसे ही नहीं बनती है वीडियोस, ऊपर से ये पीछे पीछे आते हैं. How I'm supposed to take, like, do another take? Okay, enough of me rambling. If you want to know how I created this look, please keep on watching. So here I'm using my Nivea moisturizer. Now I'm a very oily person, but I really like to hydrate my skin before putting on makeup. I am not a huge fan of primers, but my skin tends to dry out after wearing makeup for longer hours. So I prefer hydrating my skin really well in any area which is visible, like my shoulders or my neck. I like to really go in with my beauty blender and apply a good layer of moisturizer before I start off with my makeup. Once I'm done with my moisturizer, I'm gonna go in with my foundation. I'm using Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 230. I think it's buff beige. So before I apply my foundation, I like to take it out on the back of my hand, warm it up a little bit, and then go in with a beauty tool like a brush or a sponge in my case, and I work in thin layers. Now I really need to just even out my skin tone and not to really cover, because for that we can use heavy duty concealers, for that purpose. I don't know why I ramble all the time. Anyway, so I work in thin layers and I build up my base from there. If I feel like I need more coverage in certain areas of my face, I'll use more product on those specific areas only, and blend it really nicely. I'm gonna take my time and blend it, like you can see here. This video is a little bit longer than the usuals because I want you to see how I do my makeup in real time, and how much blending and how much patience it's take to build up a good base. So for my concealer, I'm using two concealers here. One is Maybelline Fit Me, another one is the Catrice. Now the darker one here is Maybelline Fit Me. It's a correcting shade for my skin tone, and the Catrice one is there to lighten up my under eye area and to bring back some light into my face. Now why I have used these concealers is because Catrice is a little bit too light for me, and I think it's a little bit too pink also. So when I mix Maybelline Fit Me in it, the corrector shade for my skin tone, it becomes this perfect blend of concealer which corrects and also highlights my face. To blend it out, I'm gonna use the rounder side of my sponge, because we used foundation and we have used our skincare with it. It's gonna help blend and melt in the creams really well. And I use the pointy side for the highlighting areas, and I'm gonna work in sections, gonna tap very gently, and take my time with it, and blend it till the point I cannot see any sort of harsh lines. I take my time with blending, because blending is the key for your eyes or for your face. Now to highlight my face furthermore, I'm gonna use the same blend to highlight the centers of my face, like my cupid's bow, my chin, my nose and my forehead. To contour my face and to bring back some dimensions, I'm gonna use this plunge foundation stick in the shade 06. I don't know, I just keep on forgetting what I used, the shades. I'm gonna use a very not a very fluffy brush, but a fluffy brush to actually just place the contour on my face, because I'm going to use my sponge anyway to blend it out. Now why I use a slightly fluffy brush to apply my contour is because it disperses the product really well onto my skin. Now the way I'm contouring my face may not work for you. This is what works for me. I contour my forehead a little bit more because I have a wider forehead, and for my cheeks and my jawline I prefer to just have some dimension and not really contouring, because I don't want to change the shape of my face, if you know what I mean. So here I'm just using the brush to just place my contour, and it just buffs out while you're applying, and when you blend it with a sponge it just makes it a lot more easier. So for my nose I use the same brush. I just pinch it from the center, so that it's like more precise for applying my nose contour, and I just really just go on the edges and the tip to make it look more like a button nose. And I'm gonna blend everything out with my sponge, and again taking my time with it. So if you know, the camera picks up makeup way differently than what it is in real life. तो I thought कि यार यहाँ पे ना थोड़ा highlighting looks like a little dull, so to bring back a little light to my face, I'm using the same Catrice concealer, and I'm just emphasizing a little bit more of the highlighting. And if you notice, I have not put concealer right underneath my eyes. मैंने थोड़ा gap छोड़ा है. That is because I just want to bring light on the cheekbone area, so that my face looks a tad bit more symmetrical. Like I said, what works for me, my face shape may not work for you. To blend the concealer on the under eye area, I am tapping it very gently, and I'm trying to push it towards up because I want to blend it in that particular area. So I'm really just taking my time and blending and pushing the product towards the lower lash line. I'll also use the same sponge to just prime my lids. Whatever is there on the sponge left over from my concealer and foundation, I'm going to use that to prime my eyelids. Now to set my face, I'm using this Revolution loose powder. It's in the banana shade, and I'm using a powder puff here. Now if you notice, I am not baking. I am not a huge fan of baking. I've done that mistake and I've learned my lesson. It just makes your wrinkles, your fine lines look so much more prominent and dry, and it's not a cute look, honey. So I like to pour some powder on the palm and I saturate my powder puff evenly, and then I press the powder into my skin. I don't dust it because sometimes it moves your foundation. I'm really pressing the powder specifically on my mouth area, my smile lines, so that they are nice and intact, and I'm also using the same powder to set the rest of my face. I'm also gonna use whatever is there on my puff to set my eyelids so they are nice and prepped for the eyeshadows. Now I'm gonna use this contour bronzing powder from PS Makeup. It's a brand from Primark, and it's a really nice product. I really enjoy using this one. It's the perfect cool tone for me, and it doesn't looks too harsh, and it's really nice and it blends really well. And if you notice, I'm using swiping motions, and I'm swiping towards up so that my cheekbones look a little bit higher than what they are, and it gives a nice color to my face. I really enjoy using this one product. I'm also gonna emphasize this bronzer contour on the forehead because I have a large forehead, and again for my nose I'm just gonna pinch it because we want to change brushes with every application, like every other product that you're gonna use. So I prefer pinching my brush and it works just fine. And if you notice, I'm taking the bronzer up to the socket of my eyes. It just makes your nose look a little bit longer, and I think it works really well for my face shape. Here I'm using my sponge to blend out the contour of my nose just to make sure that it looks seamless. And now that my face looks really pale and out of life, I'm gonna add some color back to it, and for that I'm using this color bar. Okay, color bar blush. It's a very pretty blush and it's a perfect dupe for NARS Orgasm. Don't worry, I'm gonna link every product that I've used in the bottom bar down below, so you don't have to worry about that. Now if you notice, I like to bring my blush right underneath my eyes, on my nose, onto my chin. I feel it makes you look younger and more youthful, and it looks like a blush from within. When you have done a lot of workout, your skin flushes naturally. That's how it looks like, and it looks more natural. Though we are wearing a lot of makeup, but it just makes it look more skin like, in my opinion. For my highlighter, I decided to go in with this one from Makeup Revolution. I wasn't really happy with this product. I bought it as an impulsive buy, but money wasted. But I still try to use it as a topper for certain highlighters or for the inner corner because it works really well like that. And I'm not going in for a blinding look. I want it to be very subtle, very skin-like. For my brows, I'm using this brow pencil from NYX. I did powder my brows before going in with the pencil. Because of all the creams and skincare, your brows tend to have a lot more slip and less grip. By powdering your brows, your pencil will glide on better and you have more control. I'm just filling in my brows here. I'm not doing a lot. I'm just filling the sparse areas and just fixing my arch because both my eyes have different arches. So I try to make them look as symmetrical and as natural as possible. I like to use my spoolie after every few strokes so that all the brow powders and all the products look nice and blended. Now to give some body to my brows, I like to use a brow gel. This one is from Essence, I believe, and it has this fiber like something in it, and it makes your eyebrows look so bushy and so fluffy, and I love that look. So for my eyeshadow, I'm going to use this gray shadow on a fluffy brush, and I'm really just focusing this color on my crease. I'm just packing this color with the same brush and also blending it. Now mind you, it's a very cool tone color, so if you don't prep your eyes well, it might turn out to be very muddy gray, which we don't want. So I'm taking my time with it and slowly building this color up in my crease and blending at the same time. Now you have to take your time, because I don't want you to have like unrealistic expectations. I don't know why I fumble about blending the colors. Like, it takes about 2 seconds to blend it. You have to work with it, you have to create and build the color. There is a lot of back and forth with it. Now I'm gonna take a fluffy brush again, and I'm gonna take a skin tone color which is similar to my skin tone, and I'm gonna blend that gray into my brow bone to create that fade. A smoky is all about fading the colors and creating a seamless effect, and for that I'm using this shade to further blend out my gray color. From this Europe Girl eyeshadow palette, I'm taking that blue, green, gray eyeshadow, and I'm taking another fluffy brush, but this time it's a little packer brush. It's like tapered on the top, and I'm going in my socket, like the deepest of my crease, and I'm adding this color to the gray because they have similar undertones, so it's gonna complement each other really well. Now there's a lot of color theory that goes behind it, but if you're using cool tones, stay in the cool tone family only. Here I'm using a smaller blending brush to really pack on the color into the deepest of my socket, which is my crease, so that I have that intensity of color. If you blend something, it's going to fade away. So to have that impact of the color that I wanted, I'm gonna use a smaller blending brush and apply it. I'm gonna again blend it with a bigger blending brush, but my point here is to pack on the color, so that there is this gray fade, then we have the gray, then we have this green gray fade, and then I have the color in. Now I'm gonna use a small shader packer brush. I think this one is from Jessup, and I'm using that same blue, green, gray shadow that I use in my crease and packing it up in my lower lash line, and really taking it all the way from my outer corner to my inner corner to create the same smoky effect that I did on the lid. I'm also gonna blow it more out with the gray eyeshadow on the small blending brush. Now I'm sorry to be explaining you colors like the way I am doing, but if you don't have the same palettes, you can use whatever you have. You can create the same look with different shadows. They might look a little different, but the impact is going to be the same. That's why I explain colors more, so that you know what you're gonna use on top of what. Now I'm going to use the shimmer shade, which is the same tone as the crease color, and I'm using my finger to apply it. I feel like shimmers are best applied with fingers. They blend really well, they apply really well. Trust me, the camera is not doing justice with this eyeshadow. It was beautiful. To blend out the edges of the shimmer shade, I'm using the same small blending brush and blending it around. Now I wanted to have that punch of shimmer, so I'm using a silver shadow. I think it's a pressed shadow from the palette, and really pressing it onto the lids. Oh my god, this gave me life. Just look at it, how gorgeous it was looking. I'm using this black coat from Wet n Wild to bring back some depth into my eyes. I'm gonna use it as a smoked out liner, which will be like a base for my lashes and also tight line with the same. Next up, I'm gonna curl my lashes. Now this is one of the most important steps as it preps and gives some body to the lashes. For my mascara, I'm gonna use this one from Essence. It's one of my favorite mascaras, and I love how much volume, depth and length it gives to my lashes. You're gonna see the difference now, and it does make a huge difference. And I take my time with coating my lashes and wiggling it up and separating it at the same time. While I use the mascara on my bottom lashes, I prefer holding my mascara wand vertical so that I'm able to reach every tiny lash. So this also helps in separating and creating volume in my lower lash area, because sometimes your lower lashes are so thin and so sparse that you barely can see anything. So I like to do this trick. See how much difference a right way of applying mascara can make. I'm also using the same highlighter for my inner corner. I am not going to highlight my brow bone as dark because it will take away from the eye makeup that we have just done. To give it some more spark, I'm gonna use this Kiko shimmer liner, I think sparkle liner in the shade 02. And oh my god, it is so versatile. Like this shade particularly is so versatile that it just brings that impact of the color back into the eyes. For my lips, I wanted to keep it very muted, very neutral, because my eyes are so impactful and I wanted them to be the like statement for this look. So I'm using my Lakme pencil in Dusty Rose and I'm filling it in. By this point, I felt like my lips were a little too dark because I originally wanted to go with this as my lip shade, but I went ahead with Huda's liquid lipstick in the shade Crush just to tone this down a little bit, and I was really happy after it because the color of the eyes was was looking I think more impactful. I'd say like it was looking more majestic, the way I wanted it to look. So I was really happy with it. But I wanted some shine, a little plumpiness on my lips, so I went ahead with the gloss from Lancome in the shade 206. It's a beautiful champagne with a very muted tone and beautiful golden flecks. I loved it. When I applied it, I was like, bang on, this is the look I wanted. I applied my lashes off camera and I hope you enjoyed this look. I loved creating it for you guys, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one very soon.